The following is a chronicle of pre-dynastic and ancient Egyptian foreign contacts up through 343 BC. Prehistoric Nabta Playa. In Nabta Playa, by the end of the 6th millennium BC, prehistoric Egyptians had imported goats and sheep from Southwest Asia. Pre-dynastic Vidari. Foreign artifacts dating to the 5th millennium BC in the Badarian culture of Egypt indicate contact with distant Syria and Uruk. Pre-dynastic Naqada, Gertsa and Mahdi. Pre-dynastic Egyptians in the Naqada the first period traded with Nubia to the south, the oases of the Western Desert to the west, and the cultures of the Eastern Mediterranean to the east. They also imported obsidian from Ethiopia to shape blades and other objects. Charcoal samples found in the tombs of Nekhen, which were dated to the Naqada the first and two periods, have been identified as cedar from Lebanon. Evidence of Naqadan contacts include pottery and other artifacts from the Levant that have been found in ancient Egypt. Egyptian artifacts dating to this era have been found in Canaan and other regions of the Near East, including Tel Brak and Uruk and Susa and Mesopotamia. Lapis lazuli trade, in the form of beads, from its only known prehistoric source, Badakhshan, in northeastern Afghanistan, reached ancient Gertsa. By the first half of the 4th millennium BC, pre-dynastic Egyptians in Mahdi were importing pottery from Canaan. Early dynastic. Evidence of early dynastic contacts are basically a continuation of the pre-dynastic above with further extensions into Sudan. There are also some indications of contacts with the Aegean and Crete in this period, but this evidence is weak. Nahma had Egyptian pottery produced in southern Canaan, with his name stamped on vessels, and then exported back to Egypt. Production sites included Arad, En-Bissor, Rafia, and Tel Irani. An Egyptian colony that was stationed in southern Canaan dates to this same era. First dynasty Egyptian pottery has been found in southern Canaan, some bearing the name of Nahma. Other reflections of Near Eastern contact particularly include a design of a flint knife. Old Kingdom. Evidence of Old Kingdom trade extends southward to Nubia and Punt, eastward to the Near East, northward to the Aegean and the Greek islands, and westward with Libya. The Darb el Arbain trade route, passing through Kaga in the south and Asite in the north, was used from as early as the Old Kingdom for the transport and trade of gold, ivory, spices, wheat, animals and plants. Middle Kingdom. Evidence of Middle Kingdom contacts reaches southward to Nubia, in particular Buran and Kerma. Nubians also lived in ancient Egypt in this period. Eastward contacts are represented by objects and motific works of ancient Egypt found in the Near East, including modern Anatolia and Byblos and those ancient regions around Canaan and Syria. Some kings of Byblos have been found buried with Egyptian items. Westward, evidence of contact with Libya is generally limited to military expeditions. Northward, evidence of contact with the Aegean includes Minoan relics found in Egypt. New Kingdom. New Kingdom contacts seem to have been dominated by military activities. Strong northerly contacts with Crete, Mycenae and the Heladach seem to have persisted during this time. Southward, Egypt conquered Nubia. Eastward, the Egyptians successfully conquered the ancient regions of Palestine and Syria, being opposed by the Mitanni and the Hittites. Although limited trade between the regions seems to have continued, culminating in the world's earliest known peace treaty between Ramesses II and the Hittites. Westward, contact with Libya is again generally limited to military activities. Late period. Foreign contacts in the late period of ancient Egypt seem to have been mere extensions of those of the New Kingdom. Military expeditions again persist, everywhere but in ancient Greece. In fact, there is in this period evidence of Greek soldiers fighting for Egyptian pharaohs and the establishment of a Greek trading post, called Nocrates, within Egypt. Nubia would become dominated by ancient Egypt in this period. Eventually, however, by the 25th dynasty, Nubia conquers and controls Egypt, only themselves to become later ousted by the Assyrians. Further, some scholars believe the Assyrians were then later driven out by the Napatans, described by Herodotus as a road traversed in 40 days. The Darb el-Arbain trade route became by his time an important land route facilitating trade between Nubia and Egypt. Eastward, Egypt gained control over Cyprus but, despite numerous attempts, never over Palestine. Again, Libyan contacts in this era are generally limited to military activities.